industry is an industry that
It consists of different types,
talents, and fields.
it is an industry filled with unfathomable creativity,
deep inspiration,
And have contributed remarkable achievements to the society. I am Juden Angcon.
I am Geralve Serafin.
I am Mary Angela A. Montero.
Join us as we dive deeper in knowing the inspirations,
Challenges,
Success stories of great artists and what it takes to be in the creative industry.
This is CAED
CAED
CAED TALK.
Our first guest was a former member and president of Jambangan Cultural Dance Troupe for 4 consecutive years. He is also a Dean's Lister, a cultural awardee for 4 consecutive years, and a gold medalist in Socio-Cultural Award. He also became a PE instructor at Western Mindanao State University. Help me welcome none other than Mr. Janfri Delos Reyes. So, good afternoon, sir. So, in our creative industry class, we are tasked to interview professional artists, and it will highlight their profession, their passion, their chosen field, and even their experiences in their field. So, we are very honored to have you, Sir Janfri de los Reyes. And thank you so much for giving your time to us. So, what or who inspired you to pursue your passion in your field of specialization as a dancer?
Mhm. Okay, honestly speaking, walang iba kundi yung myself. Because when I was a kid, dancing is really my passion. Dancing is like my home. Dancing is my stress reliever and where I can express my feelings and emotions, my burdens, everything. Of course, where I can be myself. And that's what makes me really happy.
Diba sir, like in any field of arts naman at profession, it takes really a long time of process to acquire skills like that. It's a process
Mm.
of trial and errors. So for you, sir, how do you develop your skills and career?
Okay, of course, by having a good attitude, self-discipline, perseverance, and dedication. Kasi if you don't have any of it, then don't expect na may development sa skills mo and achievements sa career mo. Yun ang importante, a good attitude, self-discipline, para ma-achieve mo yung gusto mo. Kasi kung wala, walang improvement or development ang mangyayari.
So, what are the challenges you face or still facing on your profession, and how do you
Okay.
overcome those challenges?
Let me share this to you, ha. Way back 2018, I was a college instructor at that time hindi ko na lang ibabanggit kung anong school, ha. So, I faced a lot of challenges in handling a, dance troupe. And that is my first time na mag-handle ng dance troupe sa ibang school. Although, nung sa WIMSU pa ako yung talaga nag-lead sa group, di ba, sa Jambangan. So, parang okay lang sa akin yun. Pero, sa ibang school, parang, awkward to Parang uncomfortable. Kasi itong dance troupe na handle ko, ito yung, kumbaga, sila yung isa sa mga competitors namin pagdating sa Mindanao-wide competition. As a coach, so paano ko nga ba na-solve or na-overcome itong problema na to or challenges? Well, as a coach, you need to know first yung mga attitude ng mga performers mo. You need to parang i-balance mo muna yung treatment nyo. And of course, as a coach, kailangan ko rin tanggapin yung mga lapses ko, yung mga pagkukulang ko para matuto yung mga dancers ko to gain more knowledge about sa skills ko or sa profession ko. And yeah, I overcome these challenges. Yun na sabi ko by accepting my lapses and my flaws. Though I'm not a perfect coach, pero kung gusto nyong maging successful in organization or to have a good relationship with your performers, then start first with your sa sarili mo. Tanggapin mo lahat ng mga pagkukulang mo. Yun lang.
through your profession, sir, di ba, dancing? So how do you seek out for opportunities?
Of course, first you need to set your objectives. And of course, you must think of a reason kung bakit mo iti-take yung opportunity na yan. And of course, tanongin mo din yung sarili mo kung para kanino nga ba itong gagawin ko? Kung may direction ba? And if wala, then you better stop that thing. Kasi wala ka din ng mga papala. And of course, syempre, we need to assess something so that we could get better at something. Kasi makikita mo naman kung para sa yung opportunity na yun. And if para sa iyo talaga itong opportunity na ito, then why not? I-grab mo.
So, as you said, sir, di ba, like, we're not everyone's cup of tea. So, how do you deal with criticism?
Ako based on my experience, nire-reject ko siya. Whether you like it or not, may isang tao talaga ako. There's always someone na mag-criticize sa mga nagawa mo. Lalo na kapag umaangat ka na. So, may tao talaga sa isang organization na hihilain ka pa baba. So, ang gagawin mo is, don't mind them. As long as wala kang tinatapakan na tao, then gawin mo ang mga ginagawa mo. As long as na may inaambag ka para sa organization, sa school na yan, or anong organization man yan, so gawin mo lang. As long as love mo yung ginagawa mo.
So, what is, sir, the hardest part of your profession?
In my profession, kung may gini-give up ka na alam mong magpapasaya sa'yo yun. Then, kasi wala naman kasi permanente sa mundo At saka, especially na kung alam mong may better opportunity na darating sa'yo, then why not? I-grab mo yun. Yan yung hardest part na as a coach. No? Based on my experience, nung umalis ako sa school na yun, syempre, masakit sa part ko. Iiwan mo yung mga anak mo dun. So, yun ang mahirap sa akin.
Well, next question, sir. No? Diba, with the current situation that we are in right now, isolated tayo lahat, nasa tayo lang tayo work at home. So, how did the pandemic affect your career as an artist, and what were the major changes that happened?
Well, as a performer or as a artist, it is really affects our career or passion, because this is the only thing that we have. Parang the only thing that makes us happy, unite us, and then all of a sudden, everything changes. No more invitation from local, national, and international events. So parang we get used to it na kasi. So nandala sa pandemic, parang biglang nawala. So parang masakit din or mahirap tanggapin, although wala tayong magagawa. Pandemic yung kalaban natin, virus yung kalaban natin. So syempre, isipin natin yung kapakanan natin.
Yes, sir. Safety first talaga.
Safety first talaga.
What is your advice to those people who aspire to become like you?
For me, to all aspiring musicians or visual artists, dancers, or ano pa yan, if you dream high, then follow your heart. Just follow what makes you happy, because life is short. And make the best of it, and always remember never let someone's opinion become your reality, and never sacrifice who you are because someone else has a problem with it, and love who you are inside and out.
Wow, inspiring.
Wow, sir.
indeed.
Gusto ko yun, sir. Never let someone's opinion become your
become
reality.
your reality. Ikaw yung gumagawa ng path mo. Ikaw gumagawa ng dream mo.
Sir. So, thank you so much, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much, sir.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
sir. Wow. Thank you for your time and effort.
Our second guest is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education majoring in MAPE and a Master of Music majoring in choral conducting. He has been the conductor of numerous choral groups in the Philippines like the UP Manila Farm Jam, the Zamboanga National High School West Choral, and the Coro Concordia de Aguilas. He is an arranger, singer, performer, a violinist, and the composer of the songs that won as champion in the Chavacano Songwriting Competition year 2015 and year 2016. He is none other than Alshamir Bryan Aripuddin.
Good afternoon, Sir Sham. So, in our creative industry class, we are tasked to interview professional artists and to highlight their professions, their experiences, even their growth as an artist. So we are very honored and we are very favored to have you, Sir Sham, for this interview. So for the first question, sir, who or what inspired you to pursue your passion in your field of specialization?
Well, I would not deny for a fact that my foremost inspiration was my grandmother. She is really excelling in the field of teaching, particularly reading and writing. And that really prompted me to become a teacher. It was not actually music at the very beginning. All I wanted to be was to be an English teacher. However, I realized my potentials more when I entered Limso Grand Choral. So it was then that I realized I think music was really my track. So because of that instance also, and I was very particular with my academic honors, I had to transfer to Ateneo for me to really excel again in the scholastic records. No? So I have to start my records all over again by taking up, instead of BSED English, this time BSED MAPE. There were many others actually who inspired me along the way, no? Aside from my grandmother. Not to forget the cousin of Ma'am Racho, Mrs. Crescencia S.E., who was my grade 6 teacher and my first music teacher at that hand, no? And yeah, there were many others even in my college days, no? Especially when I started entering the Koday Society of the Philippines. All of these people have really honed me to become a better educator because I have really felt the need to stay in the academy. So there, that goes, no? The growth of my inspiration and where it really started from.
Yes, sir. So in our profession, especially in arts, um, for you, sir, how do you develop your skills and um, turn it into your career? Po?
Well, during my time, I would really say that the access to internet and to opportunities were very limited. So the greatest or yeah, the most ideal option for me was to have a self-discovery. All my interests, songwriting, playing the violin, even singing in a choir, all of these were driven by self-interest. And then later on, I tried to enroll in workshops. Summer learned to play programs. And then later on, rehearsals are very essential on my growth. Rehearsals both at home and in performances, no?
Thank you, sir. And so, knowing that you have the talents and skills, sir, so how do you seek out for opportunities, even though this time, sir, it's pandemics?
Well, if I were to trace it back from the very beginning, opportunities were very spontaneous on my end. And it was also through invitations and recommendations and competitions that I learned to hone my skills. But if you're going to contextualize it in the opportunities that we have right now during this pandemic, it's actually even more abundant. I would not say it was difficult for me to excel in my field because one, I am at par with dealing with technologies and I know the nitty-gritties somehow that can give sufficient quality to the experience that they expect from my outputs, no, as a musician. And of course, like I said, if people believe in your talent, they will really invite you. They will recommend you to also participate. No? Like recently, I've had this talk and workshops with Polytechnic University of the Philippines and the schools here in the Davao region, wherein we try to share our knowledge and expertise in the field that we are practicing right.
So you think, sir, all opportunities are worth accepting for, or some are just not for you, sir?
Well, there are instances that I would believe they are worth accepting because they give us experiences and lessons. However, like at this point in my life, I'm in the point of really deciding whether to be a director for the culture of the arts and of course to settle back by being a plain faculty at the College of Education because at this point in my life I would like to give a direction to myself as to what track would work well for me, if it's the track of teaching or the track of becoming an administrator. Though all of them have really taught me a good lesson, a thinking experience or a valuable thing to carry on, no, as a professional teacher or as a professional musician. However, like now, because I'm turning 30, I really want to continue to attract wherein I know that this will be my stable direction. So I choose opportunities that will make me even more practical of what I can do, what I can share, and what I can create for the welfare of others.
So, sir, it is given that in any profession po, there are always challenges no matter what you do. So, in your experiences po and years of service, what are the challenges you faced or still facing on your profession, and how do you overcome those challenges po?
Okay, this is always undeniable on my end. The only criticism that is always ringing or always bugging my profession is my age. I graduated at the age of 21 and immediately had a license, then immediately proceeded to DepEd, no, to become a secondary teacher. And at the age of 23, I immediately had my master's. Then graduated at the age of 25 with a virtual, of course, enrolling to it and undergoing the course at St. Paul University, Manila. So graduating at the age of 25 with a master's degree, especially in the field of music, in our context, no, in our city, is a milestone. It's really a huge milestone. We know that it is undeniable na the liberty or the expenses that you invest in studying a master's program, especially in the field of music, is not at a minimal cost. It's really expensive. So to overcome that, that's already one. Okay, and of course, working in a university with a permanent status is also one of my challenges because being young, they would always say na what can he showcase, what can he bring on the table, or what can he do for the university. And then, of course, another challenge would be competitions and comparisons, no? Okay, you cannot deny that. Like, yeah, like I said, the age and the seniority complex, and yeah, those are normal things that you expect in a workplace or in an environment. You could not avoid them, but battles like that are not worth keeping and worth bearing in mind. No, you just really have to know what will make you grow, and those things that don't make you grow, you just really have to set them aside and keep them isolated. But if you focus on things that can make you wake up without forcing yourself to get up from the bed, no? Or if you focus on things that can make you sleep longer and make you work happier, then you win. Okay?
Yes, sir. So I agree with you, sir. So the next question, sir, is that with all the challenges you have experienced and the circumstances, even the criticism, sir. So how or what is the hardest part, sir, in your profession?
The hardest part for me is actually how to become nationalistic until the day you die, because I had always this thought or what ifs, that what if I have worked abroad rather than enduring in a public university where people will just compete with each other and devour each other's positions and all those image and titles and all those worldly things. Those are things that I would like to deal with, no? I try my best to develop the challenge in a sense that it will be reminding me that you should always be nationalistic in everywhere that you go. And of course, the challenge of being selfless in a sense that you become generous, not just of your talent, but your time or even your money. So yeah, that's the challenge that I have right now, no, as a music teacher.
So the next question, sir, is with the current situation that we have, the new normal and the rising cases. So how did the pandemic affect your career as an artist, and what were the major changes that happened?
Well, actually, for me at first, when I thought that the pandemic would be getting in this context, and like we don't have face-to-face classes, I thought it would be a topsy-turvy road on my end as an artist. However, the pandemic actually made me unlock more opportunities, more blessings, and yeah, more promising direction. Right now, this situation really called me to become more creative, to be more productive, especially that I am at the edge of using technologies. These are things that have helped me develop my productivity and at the same time my production as a teacher. It was really maximized.
Yes, the pandemic really cannot stop what we can do, even our skills and talents, sir.
Yeah.
So last question, sir. What is your advice to those who aspire to be like you, sir?
Well, I would always tell this quote even to my students back in Winsu, that you have to always bear this in mind. It is better to like what you know than to only know what you like. Meaning, you have to really embrace openness, to open yourself with possibilities. Although there are things that you have to accept, no? The things that you cannot change. But as an artist, you always have to embrace new ideas, to work with people. It only your purpose as an artist will only make sense if you know how to deal with your community, especially the society that you are belonging with. Yeah, and of course, to be content but not stagnant. No? You have to learn also, no, taking it from my experience, na I am a composer but I know who the people who listen to my works, and those are the people that I would like to delve my time with. For me, that is already enough. No, to be remembered by few is better than to be, adored by many. But as an artist, maybe try your best to become a timeless one, meaning you can transcend all generations because you carry something that is not just temporary for them to bear in mind or to put in hand. No, you have to make sure that what you can contribute is something that the university or the community or the world would cherish in this lifetime.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and efforts, sir, to answer our questions and for this interview.
Our last speaker is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Mass Communication in Manila Central University. He is a well-known visual artist, painter, and sculptor for representing the country in various international art shows. He is a visual art teacher and cultural worker, a member of the Art Association of the Philippines, a member of the Speaker Bureau Pool of Experts and Trainers by the National Commission of Culture and Arts, and lastly, a two-termer Western Mindanao representative for National Committee on Visual Arts, National Commission of Culture and Arts. Our last speaker is no other than Sir Chester Mato.
We are very honored and we are very favored, sir, because you have given your time to us, sir. So we really appreciate you, sir. So right this time for the first question, sir. So who or what inspired you to pursue your passion in your field of specialization?
Meron kasing kuwan maraming klase kasing artist, i-explain ko muna sa inyo. Meron siyang accumulated, meron din siyang init. Yung accumulated, develop lang yan, minsan inspired sa surroundings. So akin kasi init na siya in the sense na nasa akin na talaga siya. So actually sa atin din kasi, in general, lahat naman kasi tayo artist eh. Meron tayo niyan kasi we are all a product of art, no? We are created by a divine art, yung Panginoon, din tayo yung ano. So yung accumulated naman, pag nakabarkada ako ng isa, na-inspired ko siya, yun. It might be magiging artist ka or even kayo, no? Na dumaan kayo sa workshop ko. Kung na-inspired kayo, din gusto niyo ituloy, yun yung accumulated. So kung itatanong niyo saan niyo na inspired, it might be isa ako doon. So pero to that question, I directly answer sa akin, init ko, sa akin lang talaga, sa akin, hindi ko sasabihin na it's because gift yan sa akin eh. So ako nang nag-develop mismo sa gift, I discovered it. Kasi hindi naman pwede na nandyan na agad sa'yo tapos hindi mo siya i-practice, wala ding mangyayari dyan. Nakuha ko siya dahil gift from Panginoon.
So, sir, throughout your profession po, what are the challenges you faced po during your profession, and paano niyo po yun na-overcome po?
Ano kasi yung sa akin baliktad, during yung binata pa ako, I started doing workshop. Kasi yun nga, sabi ko sa bata pa ako, artist na ako, no? So, mahilig. Then when I was 17 years old, dun ko na dapat magseryoso na ako rito. Seryoso na ako as an artist. Then, mahilig kasi ako talaga, siguro nasa passion ko yung magpagtuturo. So, I started, 17 years old, nag-start na ako magturo ng art. Hindi naman siya, ang ko kasi, tinuturo ko siya yung nalalaman ko lang eh. Yung nalalaman ko lang kasi kung ang believe ko kasi binigay ito ng Panginoon sa akin, bigay ko rin ito. Hindi rin ako takot kasi mawalan kasi hindi ka naman mawalan pag nagbigay ka. Yun yung talagang principles ko. So tinuturo ko siya until such time na-proven ko talaga yan na marami talagang idea ang pumapasok sa akin. Kahit no, syempre, di ba yan katulad ng school, no? Set up na ang teacher mag-base doon sa textbook. Then pag wala ng textbook, mag-develop naman another textbook for another year. So every year may textbook. Pero kasi pag sa art, ang inspiration nandyan, paikot-ikot lang yan. So kung madamot ka, wala rin kasi kakainin ka doon sa ano mo sa pagkadamot mo. So wala kang ano, pero pag nag-shell out ka lahat. Naniniwala kasi ako niyan eh, yung as per experience. Kung blessing, ganito ka ng blessing, pour yan sa Panginoon sa'yo. Pag ginanon mo yan, pinagdamot mo yan, paano i-pour ngayon? Wala, wash out lang dito lahat. Pero pag ginanyan mo siya, mapupuno yan, babagsak yan lahat, bago lagi. So ganun yung konsepto na ano, kung sino yung mga challenges na sinasabi, may mga criticisms, around surroundings, jealousy, hindi mawala yan. Pero sinasabi ko, pagkaalam ko na tama itong ginagawa ko, kasi may mga artist kasi like free lang kasi ako before eh. Free pa man din until now, magtuturo, free. So, free. So, matitrigger ko yung iba na naging business nila. Titrigger ko yun. So, ang ginagawa ko, going outside the city, punta ko dun sa mga remote areas like mountains in Zamboanga del Sur. Akyat ako sa mga bundok. Merong time din na meron talagang certain community na inakyatan ko doon na winorkshop ko yun. Na yung mga as in no read, no write. Then, ang ginagawa ko kasi may parents sila eh, mga lola, lolo. Alam mo naman sa mga remote areas, even in the city setup, no? Mga usual pag ang parents is working, mga lolo-lola na iiwan sa bahay, tapos sila yung magawa ng mga assignment, pag-assess sa mga bata. So, come to think of it, kung no read, no write ang lolo-lola, di sila marunong, di ba? So, ang ginagawa ko, may mga assignment yung mga bata, kulayan ganito, hindi rin nila alam kasi sa totoo lang, hindi nila alam kung ano yung crayon, ordinary crayon, never nila nakita yun. So, ang ginagawa ko, punta ako dun sa mga friends ko, hingi ako ng mga donation, even mga crayon na ordinary. Tapos, never pa sila nakakita ng coloring book. Mag-sketch ako ng cartoons. Then, iserox ko yun, dalhin ko sa kanila, okay, lola, lolo, kulayan nyo ito. Makikita mo talaga yung innocence ng art nila. Kasi, mukha ng tao, kulayan ng red. Kamay ng tao, kulayan ng green. Enjoy nila yung kulay. So, dun pa lang, matouch ka na eh. So, yun hindi yung challenges na ano sa akin. It's more ano eh. Yung challenges lang siguro kasi aakyat ka, sarili mo pera. Ganun.
So,
Okay na.
yung question next naman, sir, is that how do you deal with your criticisms ng ibang tao? Especially sa art niyo.
Yung una, wala naman actually atake about sa arts. Mismong art mismo, yung gawa, output, wala naman sa awa ng Diyos. Ang ano ko lang is yung ikaw mismo, yung pagkatao mo atakihin. Kasi hindi mo ano yung inggit sa'yo, lalo na opportunity. Hindi talaga. Tsaka parang init na yan. Kasi ganito, pag ikaw artist ka, itong artist na to, busy, maraming ginagawa. Itong artist na to, idle. Tendencies niyan, itong idle na to, para ma-recognize siya or para magkaroon siya ng sasabihin nating significance, isiraan niya itong isa. Itong isa, hindi niya alam kasi sobrang busy niya. So, yun yung mga tendencies. At hindi lang yan isa. It might be isa, 5. Sa 5, 4, 3 apat ang mag-criticize against dito. Ganun usually yan. So sa akin marami, lalo na yung dati yung nag-sit kasi ako sa NCCA as Western Mindanao representative. Pag sa setup yan sa government, congressman ka na parang senador. Ganun ang setup. Kasi Western Mindanao ang hawak ko that time. So yun, maraming criticisms. Pero wala silang masabi kasi ang daming festivals na project ko. Ang daming mga projects na nagawa ko for the artist. So wala. So ngayon, ang term kasi namin is 6 years. So in 3 years, parang politiko rin. Tatakbo ka after 3 years, tatakbo ka ulit for another second term. So 2 terms lang kami. So natapos ko yun. Yung iba, hindi nila matapos yun. So sa akin, natapos ko ang 6 years. So ngayon, yung pumalit ko ngayon, since pumalit siya, walang project nangyari, wala, so anso ako, wala, di ako nag-criticize, bahala sila. So ngayon, gusto na ngayon ang region, babalik ulit ako. So yung mga ganun na mga marami, pero ang sa akin lang iniisip ko, babalik rin yan sa kanila eh. Babalik sa inyo yan. Kasi pag ganito kasi yan eh, like for example, pag criticize sa artwork mo, sasabihin yan, alam mo, sa itong artwork na to, sa tingin ko, para sa akin itong artwork na to, the word na sinasabi niya para sa akin, hindi yun sa artist, para sa iyo yun. Ikaw yung nag-criticize eh. Yung mag-criticize, usually yung mga idol na walang ginagawa. Kasi kung sobrang busy ka, marami kang ginagawa, hindi mo na magagawa yun. Kaya sinasabi ko, kasi wala silang ginagawa. Hindi sila busy sa sarili nila. Gusto nilang kumuha ng credentials sa pagsira sa iyo. Baga, ganito kasi yan eh. Pag ang tao kasi, idol siya, wala siyang magawa. Titirahin niya yung isa na may ginagawa. So, akala niya, ang tingin ng tao, mas magaling to kasi nag-criticize siya dun sa magaling. So, ganun, nag-criticize siya dun sa magaling to. Hindi ganun eh, hindi ganun ang approach. Kaya ang ako talaga, hayaan mo lang siya. Then, lang. Pagdating ng panahon, ma-realize din nila yan. Ganun lang man yun, basta keep on busy. Yun lang ginagawa ko, busy lang lagi. Mas masakit yun at mas nakakainggit yun pag hindi mo pinapansin.
Tama, sir. And
Totoo
batuhin
yan.
mo lang sila ng kindness. Kasi sila lang din mapapagod. So, yun,
Ganun
sir.
naman. Hindi naman
And-
sa lahat ng instances, hindi lang sa arts. Mararanasan yun niya. Lalo sa career niyo, ganun lang din.
Since pandemic ngayon, sir, we know na lahat tayo affected nito. So, how did the pandemic affect your career as an artist? And ano yung mga changes na nangyari sa career niyo po because of this pandemic?
Kasi iba yung ko. Actually, may ko rin kami. May talk show rin kami sa NCCA. Mga 3 weeks ago. Kasi last month kasi is Arts Month eh. So, ganun din yung topic, no? We're talking about the pandemic, the situation of the artist. Ako, masabi ko, humble lang to, hindi ako nagbumayabang. Pagpasok kasi ng pandemic, marami akong komisyon na ginagawa. So, before siya nag-lockdown, meron pang mga komisyon na hindi ko gawa. So, during the lockdown, spill over. Busy ako, gumagawa ako ng ganito, dami kong ginagawa. Until na middle of natapos ko siya. So yun din yun, yung worries mo na baka mawala na kasi hindi mo pa alam yung uncertainties kasi papasok na ulit ang 2021 tapos sabi ko kailangan ko mayroong magawa. Kaya nga sabi ko nga pag manalig ka sa Panginoon, meron talaga. Pagkapasok ng pa lang, December pa lang meron na naman ulit. Medyo ako nang umayaw kasi wala na, di na kaya talaga. Sabi ko hindi, kung kaya niyo mag-wait, wait kayo. So until now, meron akong ginagawa. Hindi siya siguro yung kuan ko changes, hindi na ako nakapag-travel. Yun, na-miss ko talaga yun. Kasi every February, umiikot talaga ako buong region. Tapos marami, like sa inyo, si Sir Eric, nag-call sa akin, how can, help daw na pwede ko kayong apprentice, no? Sabi ko, sir, pwede man sir kasi meron akong kuan ngayon, meron akong pwede man sir kasi meron akong ngayon. The question is kung payagan ba sila sa artist. So sabi ko, sir, meron ako coming dito sa Pole. Ito nga Stations of the Cross. Pero sabi ko sa kanya, tingnan natin kung kung payagan kayo. Pero sa mahirap man. Kasi parang hindi ata visible talaga na pwede tayo pwede kayong mag face-to-face ngayon?
Yes, sir. Kasi
Yes, sir.
yung
Pero,
cases,
opo. Pero still,
taas
we're
yung mga
hoping.
case. Pero hopeful talaga.
We're really hoping, sir, na pwede.
Oo.
What is your advice, sir, to those who aspire to be like you, na maging
Sa,
artist?
sa inyo, like sa inyo, no?
Yes, sir.
Ano na lang, yun lang
Yes,
talaga.
sir.
Consistent kayo. Kung anong meron kayo ngayon, yun yung pagpalago niyo. At saka, never talaga yung insecurities, tanggalin niyo sa sarili niyo. Tsaka isa talaga yung pag-share. Huwag kayong matakot ma-share kasi yun yung sinasabi ko. Pag hindi kayo nag-share, stagnant yan sa inyo lagi. So, never kayong bigyan ng Panginoon ng another idea, another blessing. Kasi, sinasarili niyo lang. Walang mangyayari. Kumbaga, bigay ko tong ano na to. Bigyan ko yung sample ha. Bili ako ng damit ngayon, no? Bili ako ng damit ngayon. Pag bili ko ng damit, itong damit na to, ito na. What if pag maluma na to, ayaw ko na, hindi ko siya ibigay, ito pa rin. So hanggang dito lang ako. Nag-guess nyo yun? Hanggang dito na lang. Ito na lang talaga yun sa akin. Kasi sarado na ako. Okay na to sa akin. Ipagdamot ko to. What if kung may nangangailangan nito? Hubarin ko to. Mind you, pag hinubad ko to, bibigyan ako ng Panginoon mas bago pa. Ganun lang yun. Si kasimple. Lahat talaga, bigay niyo kung anong meron, kahit maliit lang. Bigay niyo yun, maliit na yun. Kaya sinasabi ko nga sa inyo, 60 pesos before. 60 pesos before. Ibigay ko yun. Yung sabi ko sa inyo, bili ako ng tinapay, bili ako ng 60 lang yun. Pero ngayon, sa totoo lang, hindi naman sa magumayabang. Halos naikot ko ng buong Pilipinas, halos malaki-malaki na rin ang naano ko, kinita. Kasi continuing 60 pesos, mga maliliit lang before, 12 pesos. Sinishare mo yun kasi yun lang din yung talaga ang kaya ko that time. Pero siguro nakikita ng Panginoon, kung ano lang yung kaya mo, binigay mo pa lahat. Ito tingnan nyo, sample ha. Ako mayaman ako, nagbigay ako ng 1,000 pesos doon sa matanda. Sa pulubi. May dumaan na pulubi, nagbigay ako ng 1,000 pesos. Here comes merong old widow. Dumaan ang pulubi, nagbigay siya ng piso. Saan yung malaki?
Yung nagbigay ng piso, sir.
Correct.
Ang bibigyan
Bakit?
ng pieces.
Bakit?
Kasi yun
Kasi,
lang
sir,
yung
yun na lang
meron
yung
siya.
meron.
Yan na lang meron siya. Yan na lang meron siya. Ako meron pa ako eh. 1,000 is
Yes.
how much lang yan, di ba? Yun yung sinasabi ko. Kung ano lang meron kayo, wala na nga kayo, bigay nyo lahat yun. Even sa pagtuturo nyo. Kasi pagtuturo nyo, I tell you, pag nagturo na kayo, kahit malaki ang sahod ng teacher, marami pa kayong gagastusin. Kaya sinasabi ko, mga teacher talaga is, talaga yan, hero talaga yan sa panahon na to. Even Saturday and Sunday, huwag kayong magreklamo. Kasi sabi ko, huwag kayong magreklamo kung anong ibibigay sa inyo. Kasi yung mga kahirapan yan, opportunity yan for you to learn. Yan yun. Lalo na sa isang teacher. Ano ba itong pinasok ko? Pagtuturo. Kahit sa Badulinggo, tuturo pa rin kami. Pupunta kami. Mga module. Ngayon. Pero I tell you, opportunity yan sa inyo. Not only sa career nyo, pero mismo sa sarili nyo. Kaya nyo siyang i-face kahit anong kasing problem. Ako hindi po nagsasalita nito ngayon kasi ayaw kong mag-inspire sa inyo na art lang. Ito, in general na lang talaga to. Kasi kung art lang, alam ko naman, di kayo mag-full-time artist. So, ang ko is, yung advice ko sa inyo is ganun, in general, no? Kasi, hindi lang naman sa art to. In general talaga. At kung anong ibigay natin, kahit konti lang, bigay natin. Yun lang yun. Huwag kayong magdamot. Huwag kayong matakot na mawalan kasi hindi kayo mawalan. Mas mawalan pa kayo pag binamot nyo, tinago nyo lahat yun. Yun, mawalan kayo yun. Ganun lang siguro yung masasabi ko.
Wow. Very inspiring talaga,
Thank you
sir.
po,
Sobra.
sir.
Sir, thank you talaga, sir, sa time niya, sir, and sa words of wisdom na binigay niya sa amin. We know, sir, na hindi lang to galing sa'yo, but it's based on your experience, or even it's the wisdom that comes from the Lord.